have you been watching Severance?
I have, dude. I am a fan.
Me too, dude. In a way, in like I'm a fan of it in a way that I haven't been of a show in a really long
Yeah.
time. And like when we first started watching my mom started watching it. She was asking me about it. She goes, I've started it 3 times and I've turned it off every time. I'm like, you got to get through the halfway point of that show to where you start to really kind of understand what's going on. But I'll be honest, like I wasn't excited about it when I started watching it. And then even coming back to the second season just started. I think this week is episode 3.
Yeah.
I wasn't excited about watching it. It had been so much time. It's been like over a year since it was last on. But then I started watching it again, and I watched the recap. That's one thing I love about YouTube, dude. Is like,
Oh, same. I did the same thing, and then I've been doing
oh
the for the new season. I've been doing the episode breakdowns,
yeah,
which is only 2, but yeah, I love YouTube for that, dude. And I always
yeah,
forget that that's an option. So I was gonna start watching season 1 again before this came out, and then I think I got like 2 or 3 episodes in. And I was like, what the fuck? I can just go on YouTube and it's 20 minutes and I have the whole
yeah.
season.
There's not enough time. I used to when I was younger, dude. I'd go back and rewatch, do deep dive, and
Yeah.
like binge all this. I don't have the patience, and I don't have the time for it. I got a 3 hour window at night, but that kind of leads me into what I was thinking. I can't help but watch Severance and be like, why can't we have Severance in our real world, dude?
Dude, I
How
was thinking the
awesome would it
same
be?
thing. Yeah. Would you
This,
do work severance or would it be like more for pleasure?
I would do all Severance.
All of
I
them?
would Severance work. I'd Severance being a father. I'd Severance being a husband. I'd Severance funerals. I'd Severance birthdays. I'd Severance weekend, hangouts with friends, with family. I would not know what was going on in 85% of my life, and I would have 3 hours every day where my Audi was like, I'm gonna watch Madden YouTuber, dude. I got 3 hours, and then my life would just be accumulation of 3 hour windows. But think about that, like you would only live the 3 hours of your life that you know want to be present for.
Well, I think first off, the father one would be hard because you'd have to switch that back and forth so often, dude.
No, just
Like
tell
you
me what
could,
I did. Just tell me what I did. Give me a report card. Be like, hey, this is the stuff that you focused on, and I can either be like, yeah, cool, I'm doing a good job, or I can make a video for my Innie and be like, hey, you're being a terrible father. You need to step it up. I got to get back to my YouTube, but listen, if I have to come back here, I would father my Innie the way I would want my Innie to father my kids.
okay, I like that. So
You know what I'm
you
saying?
you would be scolding your father any
Yeah.
for mistakes, even though you weren't aware of the mistakes happening.
Dude, I would, but that's what I'm saying. Like if there was a way to severance segments of your life, but then you got like an end of the week like
Recap of
progress
it.
report on what was
Yeah,
going on and like what you did. Like what would be terrible is if it's like, hey, you pulled your dick out at Sally's party this weekend and
you
there were
dropped off the
kids there.
kids naked, and
Yeah,
now
you like,
father
you dro-
any is
and I have to get on and make a video. Be like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Why? What was the situation in which you pulled your dick out at Sally's party? I need you to report back, and I need to know because this is a problem, my friend.
What if you did it for so long that like your different selves? Did you ever see the movie Multiplicity?
Yeah,
What if it's like to the point where you're like it just turns into different personalities, but like the lived experience of each any an Audi self just
yeah,
completely formed into a different person, dude,
yeah. I
and
mean,
then
but
starts fighting each other.
well, I think that's might be where we're heading in this
Yeah.
show, and I think like that's the interesting thing about what's the girl's name in the show?
Oh, I'm
The one
terrible.
that's like she's the daughter of the CEO.
Yeah, I'm
And that
terrible
was
with names.
super compelling. Like the fact that
Yeah.
like she's kind of like a double agent, and you don't really know. Like, did she when she was in there? Did she go in there looking to like weed out and infiltrate these people that are trying to reform Severance, or
Well, I
like is she a double agent? Her name's Helly Riggs. Helly
Helly, yeah,
Riggs.
Helly. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like she was put in there to kind of make the company look better. Like, oh, we
Yeah,
even do it ourselves. But it does seem like the suppressed like nature of base Helly is coming out in her severed form, and the rebellion against everything that her family's for is maybe bottled up in her, but unleashed in this. I don't know. I absolutely love the show.
Or maybe it's just that like her Innie and her Outie are two separate people. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying is like, you know,
Well, to
like
to
just cut me
speak,
off.
yeah, to speak on the last episode, it was very slow, but I've never had an issue with being like engaged in the show, even if
Yeah.
it's slow. I love the concept, and from episode one, I was sold, dude. But the newest episode, the thing that I'm really excited to see is she watches a video of her and the main guy kiss,
Yeah.
and she's like so intrigued in what's happening, and seems like maybe her personal like outie self is missing that. So it seems like I don't know. It seems like almost the base Helly is gonna say fuck it, and she prefers this inner self and is gonna throw away everything, including her family's legacy. But then also like it's great writing, so maybe it's just making me feel that way. And then at some point she's just gonna fuck
Yeah, see
all those innies up, dude.
what I think is going to happen is I think that the Innies and the Outies are two completely separate people. It's like a split personality, it's split
Yeah.
consciousness. So what I think is going to happen is like you're going to start getting closer and closer to your inner and out your Innie and your Outie, and it's going to meld those two different consciousnesses into one. And I think the way that like they're doing that is through rebellion. And I think that's super cool, super compelling. Ben Stiller, by the way, is the dude
Ben
behind
Stiller,
it.
yeah, dude.
He's crushing it.
He's crushing it. And then I've been going on X and like kind of seeing. I don't think I follow him, but I've followed and like liked enough Severance things that it's been popping into my feed.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to see him retweet people that are like either absolutely love the show or absolutely despise it. And
Yeah.
his interaction, I don't know. I've always been a fan of Ben Stiller, and this might be, besides Heavyweights, this might be my favorite project of
Dude,
his.
Heavyweights is dude.
Heavyweights is so good, dude.
Love
His
just been
character,
canceled today due to lack of hustle.
Dude.
Deal with it. Gerald Garner.
that and Tropic Thunder are my favorites, dude.
My
It's so
favorite.
good.
I have so many. I love Zoolander. The first Zoolander is
Yeah.
epic and amazing. I even love like Starsky and Hutch gets crapped on all the
I've
time.
never
but
seen it.
I love Starsky and Hutch. I don't know if it would hold up the same way if you watched it now.
Okay.
I'd like to think that it did, but dude, my favorite Ben Stiller character is the 30 seconds in Happy Gilmore where he plays the orderly Hal.
Yeah.
I have it like my ringtone is him going, you could trouble me for a warm glass of shut the hell up. Now you will go to sleep, or I will put you to sleep.
Dude, it's so
Check out
good.
the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Isn't there like an online conspiracy that his character from Heavyweights is it
Yeah.
that character?
It's also very similar to his character in Dodgeball.
Okay, yeah.
Dodgeball's great too, dude.
Maybe it's Dodgeball.
Ben Stiller had like a 5-year run, dude, where he was just putting out
Yeah.
everything. Dude, Meet the Parents.
Meet
the
the
original
Parents.
Meet the Parents is a brilliant movie.
Yeah.
It's so good. It shouldn't be as good as it is. Anyway, but he's crushing Severance.
He's crushing it.
I would love to be able to just check out and pop back in, get a status report, not have to deal with death. Just, and then like one day my Innie will die and I'll be like, well, that was a good run. And then I'll, multiplicity it.
Yeah, multiplicity.
Yeah, great show.
What's the funniest situation of a severed Eli that you could do? Like it would be. I was thinking about this and like the different Vinces that it would be funny to isolate. And of course, there's like the sex Vince that his whole lifespan is just constantly. He wakes up and it's go time, dude.
Yeah, but I love the concept of like obviously I'm kidding about the being a parent and being a husband, but I think it's funny it's hilarious to think about, But I think I would love to explore different career paths severed from myself, like be like a party clown. Just see how far I could get in the party clown world, and then like again, if you're getting progress reports of what's going on,
yeah. Do you think there'd be like a severed app that for some reason like is able
There
to
you go.
record all interactions, and your base self can only control the app, and it's like, oh, notification, Daddy Eli exposed himself at the elementary school today.
or like Daddy Eli like raged out tonight and threw something against the wall. And like really was like a 1960s post World War II dad, and you really need to talk to him,
Dude.
And
then
because it's awful.
Would you reinforce your other selves' behaviors with like like
Candy.
not candy, but
Candy.
like if you do real like if you do what you're supposed to be doing really well for this month, you as that self gets to choose a different self that you get to experience it. So like say you have a sex self, you
No.
get to like
Well, I don't. I
y-
wouldn't want to sever sex. Why would you want like that's the what you want to be in the moment for. You don't want to sever that. I think like I wouldn't want to like. So you're talking about like an inception sever, like where you're in the sever and you're severing that sever and you just. I wouldn't want to give my any in whatever capacity, whatever genre of my life. I wouldn't want to give my any control because that's like
oh
that's
you,
how you know that they're going to
that
revolt against you if
that's
they
when the
have any
rebellion
control.
happens. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm
because they
saying
understand
like
that they're slaves.
so you got to reinforce your split personality
No,
somehow. So like
no. Videos.
work Eli gets to go watch YouTube videos once a month for 3 hours.
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
No, I don't
It'd
know.
keep
They
them in
don't deserve
line.
it. Why do they like all they know is work?
Well,
They don't know
you
YouTube videos.
incentivize it. You
No, they don't
ABA
know,
that
but they don't
shit, dude.
know. They don't know YouTube videos. They
You
don't know why
get
that's a
5 stars this week, and you get to go on YouTube, and
No,
you get to
you know what you
watch.
get as if you're a proper innie and you're doing the will of your Audi, you get praise and you get me not being mad at you.
Okay,
That's the incentive, dude. It's a very psychologically screwed up situation. I'm willing to admit that.
okay, so
But
you're gonna be the type of dude that gives your any like a melon party for doing well this month,
yeah, exactly. I'm
dude.
showing up with the fruit basket like Melchuk, and
Yeah.
I'm going, hey, you're doing great. And I just want to say that. I'll tell you what, I'll tell you one severed area of my life. Any situation where I'm going through the drive-through and they bring out the card reader because I still have a chip. I don't have a tap.
Yeah.
I have Apple Pay on my phone, but I still have a chip, dude. And they do the awkward thing where they're like, they put it up and then there's this awkward like as you insert it because it never goes in perfectly. Maybe I should sever my sex life. I don't know, but
You might have better aim,
there's
dude.
this awkward thing, and then they always end up taking your card and just doing it, and like
I don't have
you
that
never
problem,
make
dude.
you never make eye contact, dude. It's always like okay. The other day I got pulled over by a police officer. I would sever that. I would hope that I would get out of the ticket.
I can see that going bad, dude.
It could go bad, but
It
again,
would go
I wouldn't
bad.
be responsible. Much like the severed show, I might have maybe I have to bail my dude. Maybe you have to bail out your innie.
Yeah, well, and the cop has to like access your severed app to come to the base of Eli. I feel
No,
like
I think the cop would just be like, "Hey, I just want to let you know that your innie got arrested tonight. He pulled his dick out at Sally's birthday party. By the way, Sally's an adult. I want to make that clear. Sally.
I thank you for clearing that up
name.
because I kept talking
No.
about like
Yeah,
elementary
I mean, it's
schools.
all like egregious, and I was just thinking of like the worst possible. There's worse things your innie could do. Don't
There's
get me
it's
wrong.
very true. Yeah, self harm and harming others.
What if you're like, because then it could get trippy, dude. Like, what if you're watching an episode of like Unsolved Mysteries, and there's like a murder, and you're like, the more you watch it, you're like, oh my god, that my innie is probably the one that's committing these murders.
It's just a drawing of you, and you're like, oh fuck, dude.
What if instead of like a passive innie severance experience, it's just an ambitious, like you to really test your metal and see like what you could actually do in your life. Like, could I be a murderer? Like, let's send out an innie, and he's like jacked up, and you're like, hey, go for it. Okay, this is what we're doing. Like, don't get caught. If you get caught, I'm gonna be very disappointed in you, and I'm not gonna bail you out.
So like a Dexter meets Severance thing,
Kind of.
dude. Well,
Kind
the whole concept is like whenever the new innie is formed, they're able to like be human, but they have no recollection or what is the word? I've had a few
Recollection.
recollection. They don't know what's happening. So you could change the like environment for each inning, and you can just be like, hey, you just woke up. The aliens have been harvesting humans for 100 years. You've been in this bunker. You need to get out and you need to do all this stuff and just completely like it is yourself. So you potentially
that's the beauty
don't.
of it is like you could create like they don't know what the world that you live in is like.
Yeah.
So you could create anything. You could warp these people's minds. I mean, sure, it's yourself, so it's kind of twisted. But why not an exercise severance? Why
Yeah.
not send an innie to work out? That would benefit you because you'd come out swole and you wouldn't have to go through the pain of working out. You know, there's like I'm sitting in a movie and like 30 minutes in, I'm going like, it's like, let's say we're watching Long Legs and I'm in the theater and I'm like, oh, this isn't as going to be as good as the marketing make it seem. I'm going to severance out of the rest
Which
of
is
the movie.
False.
Dude,
That
don't get me
movie was
started on
great.
that. But
Movie
I'm a
was
severance
great.
out of that movie. I'm going to severance out of having to watch, binge watch a show that isn't as good as Severance with my wife. I'm checking out. I'll still be there. I'll have all the knowledge of what the show is about, but I won't have to sit through the 7 filler episodes in a 15 episode season.
So you have the 90 Day Fiance severed, where his whole experience is just TLC shows with the wife, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's me. I think I am that severed.
Well, like, taking an edible is a form of severance, I would say.
True, but then also, like, how do we know that whenever we wake up, we're not the severed, dude?
I mean, that would be something that you'd have to create. You'd have to create some kind of grounding mechanism in the world you live in, the unsevered world, your reality, the master reality to all this. You would have to ground yourself. In Inception, he's got the top to know, like, I'm not in a dream. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's like,
the app, dude. You have access to the app, so you're not the severed.
Yeah, I mean, I would
gonna make
sever
the app,
religion.
dude.
I would just have a different me go to worship in every faith just to cover my bases.
Isn't that counter the whole faith aspect, though?
Yeah, I mean, that's
like the morality that you're trying to preach.
It's like the Unitarian Church method, where it's like, any and all, like all faiths, bring salvation. Now, I don't believe that, and but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's another.
Maybe
there's an Innie that's like a Buddhist that's like enlightened, in a way that I'm just not. I'd have a Mormon Innie. I'd have an Innie that wore magic underwear and
just cover all the bases, dude.
Oh, dude, you could. I mean, think about it. It would be like It would be the only real way, I think, in our lifetime that we could access the multiverse. Who am I in this? What is the ancient one say in Doctor Strange? Who are you in this great wide universe? Like, I could be anything, dude. I could live my life as like, I could be one of those greasers that you see in like the modern era that have like defied like functional social society. And they're like, I'm still gonna look like a greaser. I would never do that, but I respect those people.
I want to meet the greaser Eli, dude. The severed grease.
I don't think you'd like Greaser Eli.
Oh, I think I would, dude. I'd respect him way more.
I think Greaser Eli is probably doing stuff that you would not like, dude.
Would you be like the movie Greaser, or would you be a cholo greaser?
Zuko. See, I think Greaser Eli is the one that pulls his dick out of Sally's party, if I'm being honest with you. But
the girl on the side would approve of it, dude.
She's all, "Hey, stud." I'm like, hey, Sandy.
It'd be fun to like be bilingual and then have one of your severed like come to life and only hear French and only be able to speak French, and then
so you can send one of your Innies to learn French, and then he comes back like when he checks out. You have that knowledge, dude.
Do you think that's not how it works though? Because you have none of the knowledge.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the show. I'm talking about in the way we're doing it in the real world, my man.
So you just unplug from like the hard things, but
it's like Severance meets the Matrix.
Okay.
And like I would have an Innie, I would have a Severance that was just John Travolta masseuse, and I would have him come back, dude, and be like,
I would love to meet that Eli.
I would oh, dude, he's just like, you're feeling a little tender in your thighs. Oh, take off my pants. Cindy, Adele Dazeem. Adele Dazeem.
What is that?
Remember when John Travolta came out and he introduced Idina Menzel and he's like, the wickedly talented Adele Dazeem. I'm putting that in. He doesn't know. All right, man. I think that people understand our twisted mind when it comes to Severance. I really think that there's an Innie for everything. I think the many things in your life that you want to check out, that you want to disassociate from, why put that stress on yourself? Just give it to another part of yourself and check out, dude.
Yeah,
it is. Come back in.
It is a really fun concept.
They had to buck back a bit, dude.
Can we rebrand to Buck Back a Bit?
Bang my name, dude.
Bang my name, Buck Back a Bit.